عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد. صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم، ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. My dear respected listeners, Alhamdulillah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are sitting in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we are preparing to perform the most important act of our lives, which is to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in submission, whereby once in a week Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed as a weekly dose or a weekly medicine that Muslims have to gather and stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala together and humiliate themselves before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that every week they get their reminder. In fact, in all things that we see and in all things that we do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us these reminders. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to develop within us this acute sense of where you are headed. What is your real purpose in this life? In comparison, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this world a place of deception, wherein Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, Ya ayyuhan nasu ttaqu rabbakum wakhshaw yawman la yajzi walidun an waladihi wala mawludun huwa jazin an walidihi shay'a inna wa'da Allahi haqq fala taghurrannakum al-hayatu ad-dunya. The promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this world will end and you have to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be answerable to what you did in this world, and based on that, what is your life of eternity, your life forever is going to be. That all of it, all the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is haqq. So never ever let this world of deception, this life of deception deceive you. And when Allah has said that this is the place of deception, Allah, the Ahsanul Khaliqeen, the most supreme, the most beautiful, the most perfect of creators, if He creates something or some place and calls it that we have made it a place of deception, how strong the deception would be. So, living in this world, we forget what our reality is. We forget what our reality is. Where we came from, what we are doing, why we are here, what is our present and what is our future. Where are we headed? This reality of dying is such that even the kuffar, even the disbelievers, they cannot escape from it. You will not find a kafir, you will not find a disbeliever who would say that we don't have to die. All of them know that we have to die. Allahu Akbar. A Muslim knows that the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we will be judged how we lived. Did we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life, or did we forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? To forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a trait of the kuffar. For them, everything is this world. So whatever you see around you, you see that people are having fun. They are going after fun. We live only once. We need to enjoy this life as much as possible. And for that, we will do whatever we feel like doing. Only the hollow standards of morality that we may have that come from anywhere else apart from Islam, even those are how you fare in the eyes of others. So morality is judged by what people think, what kind of an effect will it have on the people? Will they like it? Will they think that it is bad? It starts and it ends with people in this world. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that all of you, each soul for itself, see, make note, keep track of what are you sending ahead for the next world, for the hereafter. In this world of deception, do not forget about that day and do not forget about the hereafter. And therefore, a Muslim is a moral person even when nobody is seeing them, even when nobody is around, even if something is apparently good in the eyes of the society. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like it, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that this is not acceptable, then it is bad and morally impossible for a Muslim. So therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us these stark reminders again and again, here and there. We were in the month of Ramadan, we talked about taqwa. What is taqwa? How do we establish ourselves on the path of deen? And then, alhamdulillah, in the future 11 months until the next Ramadan, the lessons that we learned in this Ramadan, the practices that we built in this Ramadan, the habits, the good habits that we built in this Ramadan, all of those will serve for the next 11 months of the good deeds that we are sending forth. Or if we choose to become negligent, then we are sending forth negligence on our part. Allah gave us chance to wake up, Allah disturbed our schedule, Allah kept us hungry, and Allah put us on the right path, on the path to obedience, and the path which suppressed our desires and increased within us the wish and the desire to be a person of Allah. And now, do we choose to forget about all of it and return back to what our life used to be before Ramadan? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, do not be among those who forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not be among those who forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهِ. Do not be among those who forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that you forget that there is a day where you have to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That you forget that there is an Allah who has created me and who has put me and who has provided for me, and He is looking at me and I am constantly in His company. He is with me all the time. That is, when we forget it and we lose sense of it, that is forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't be among those who forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. Those who forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah makes them forget their own self. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying a ajeeb thing in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying a unique thing. You forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will make you forget your own self. You forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do not be among those who forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, lest Allah makes you among those who forget their own self. What does this mean? That the sense of what is good and what is bad for your own self will be taken away from you. You will not realize, you will not know, you will not be able to differentiate what is good for me and what is bad for me. So you will lose sense of your own benefit by losing sense of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then you will start doing things that will humiliate you and damage you, destroy you in this world and in the hereafter. Therefore, if you forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and start living a life of sin, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, a life of negligence and forgetfulness, then what happens is that there is a period of pleasure and enjoyment where we like it a lot, and then definitely in 100% of the cases, that period is followed by a extreme severe depression, a time where we don't find any rescue, where we don't find any refuge. We feel like our life is shattered. The things that we want to do further, we are not able to do. Take every single sin individually or take the life of sin collectively. You live that life or you do that sin, it will be followed by a time of desperation and hopelessness, where you realize, what have I done? Where did I spend my youth? Where did I spend my time? What did I do with the capacities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given me for free? Now that time is gone. I was enjoying myself, I was having fun, but that time was temporary, and now I'm in a miserable state. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, you forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will make you forget your own self. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Every single soul is being reminded to keep track of what you are sending ahead. Is it that which will put you into Jannah every single moment of your life? And no matter who you are, and no matter where you are in a third world country, or Allah has opened up life for you, you are living in a big house in a developed country, you are driving big cars, luxurious cars, does not matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The rule of Allah is the same. Wherever you are, whoever you are a student, you are a professional, you are a rich person, you are a poor person, you are a man, you are a woman, whatever you are, the principle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the reminder of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is keep checking yourself. That which you are doing, whatever you are doing, is it going to put you into Jannah, closer to Jannah, or is it going to put you in hellfire and closer to hellfire, in a life of misery? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Every sin and every good deed, there is a reward and a punishment in the hereafter. But the reward and the punishment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not wait until the hereafter necessarily. Because everything that is against the Sharia and the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in reality, even if we realize it or not, harmful for our own self, for our own bodies and our society. So therefore, the sin starts to take its effects within this life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us those who are constantly worried about the hereafter. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that, let me tell you who's a wise person. Paraphrasing the hadith, who is a smart person? Who's a smart person? Allahu Akbar. The person who keeps their nafs, keeps their desire under control, keeps their nafs, suppresses their nafs, keeps it under check. Think about us. What kind of desires do we have chosen to keep under control? Everybody has several desires that we cannot fulfill. We do not have the money, we do not have the age, we do not have the means. But do we have any desires that we can fulfill and we have kept them under control and we have put our nafs under check? The Prophet ﷺ is telling us that a smart person is that person who keeps their nafs under control, who keeps their desire in check and prepares, works for that which is coming after the death. Compare it with the definition of smartness that we have in our lives. The one who gets what they want in life and the one who has a good life here. The Prophet ﷺ is telling us in contrast, the one who keeps their desire under control and prepares for what is coming after the death. And the Prophet ﷺ has said, well, ajiz, a stupid person, a helpless person, a foolish person. Who are they? Who keep on running after their desires in this world and place their hopes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will do what I want to do and I will hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah will forgive me on that day. What is the difference between those people who are living a life of sin, and what is the difference between you? That you or us are following our desire, running after our desire, not caring about halal and haram and what Allah has commanded us to do and what Allah has forbidden us to do, and our hopes and our trust is placed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَتَمَنَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ. That following the desire, who are you following? Who are you weighing in this world? And who are you placing your trust in? Who are you placing your hope in? You listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then place your hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are listening to your nafs, your desire, and placing your hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are a foolish person if you are doing that. The Prophet ﷺ is telling us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wake us up, ameen ya rabbal alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala change the direction of our lives, ameen ya rabbal alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create the best of effects in the hearts of the speaker and the listener, ameen ya rabbal alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Brothers who are in the sunnah should do sunnah, jazakallah.